Vicinity 95.3 FM.
We need Wilder follow. Afọ́hùndúnbẹ̀mù wọ́n máa tó dóde orí òkè téńté làwà àgbẹ̀ ń ṣe bí ọba ìròyìn tó péye o àwa ní kẹ́ máa gbọ́. Vicinity FM ọ̀gára jẹ́ Vicinity FM lónígbòrò 95.3 ìkejìlé látàkọ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ sí o. Vicinity FM ọ̀gára.
Welcome to the heartbeat of the city. Hear the rhythm of the streets. Vicinity FM 95.3. News from around the world. Vicinity FM 95.3.
This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile Jisha. The time is 12 o'clock. I am Paul Eteng with Global News. First, the headlines. Senate inaugurates ad hoc committee for National Security Summit. Sudan severs diplomatic ties with the United Arab Emirates amid allegation of sponsoring civil war. And India launches series of cross-border airstrikes targeting Pakistan and Kashmir war infrastructures. The Senate is planning a two-day National Security Summit in Abuja and has set up an ad hoc committee tasked with the responsibilities to organize the summit, to develop viable solutions to the country's persistent insecurity challenges. Key features of the planned summit are expected to include the participation of delegates from the federal government, all 36 states governments and local government council. At the plenary session on Tuesday, the lawmakers debated the merits of convening another security summit in reference to previous summits with limited impact. Others argued that bringing together a wider cross-section of stakeholders could yield new ideas, forge a unified national security framework, and equip the military with updated strategies. The motion scaled through with the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, directing the ad hoc committee begin preparation. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, is strengthening its collaboration with the International Organization for Migration, IOM, to address irregular migration, review Nigeria's diaspora policy, and enhance the capacity of its personnel. Chairman and CEO of NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri Arewa, disclosed this at a strategic meeting with Organization for Migration, Chief of Mission in Nigeria, Sharon Dimanche, in Abuja. The Chief of Mission, who recently assumed duties in Nigeria, emphasized the need for safe and regular migration, pledging continued support to Nigeria's migration management goals. She lauded the contributions of Nigerians in the diaspora to national and continental development, particularly through remittance, describing the meeting as a platform to deepen understanding of NIDCOM's priority and expand areas of partnership. Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Mehmet Tao Ibrahima, and other stakeholders have decried the high fares of traveling by air within West Africa. This was made known at the opening session of a delocalized meeting of ECOWAS Parliament Joint Committee on Infrastructure, Energy and Mines, Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources on Tuesday in Lomé. According to the speaker, free movement of people with effective and affordable air transportation is vital too for regional economic development and integration. She urged that high fares within West Africa was inimical to sub-regional economic growth and obstacles to the successful implementation of the ECOWAS free movement protocols to achieve its ECOWAS of the people's vision. The Catholic Church in Kenya has responded to concerns that the country's only cardinal will not be participating in the election of the next pope because he had not been asked to attend. Following Pope Francis' death last month, senior Catholic leaders, cardinal younger than 80, are eligible to elect his successor. They are due to begin the process at the Vatican on Wednesday. However, Kenya Cardinal John Njue, 79, was quoted in a report saying that he has not been invited. Debunking the report, Kenya Catholic official disclosed his failure to honor the invitation from the Vatican was due to his ill health. Sudan has severed diplomatic ties with the United Arab Emirates amid repeated accusations of backing the rival Rapid Support Forces (RSF) in the country's civil war. The announcement came as the armed group were blamed for attacks on safe city of Port Sudan, which started on Sunday and have continued until Wednesday. On Tuesday, Sudan Defense Minister Yassin Ibrahim accused the UAE of violating his country's sovereignty. The UAE has repeatedly denied the allegations of giving financial, military, and political support to the paramilitary force. This is Vicinity 95.3 FM, Kejile Ejisha. Global News will continue shortly. For comments, breaking news, and coverage of events, send an email to vicinitynewsroom@gmail.com or call 0814-365-8302. You can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Vicinity 95.3 FM. Now the rest of the news. India has launched a series of cross-border airstrikes named Operation Sindoor, targeting what it claims are terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Kashmir. The strike comes 2 weeks after a deadly militant attack in Pahalgam, India-administered Kashmir, which left 25 Indian and 1 Nepali tourists dead. India stated the operation was a measured and non-escalatory response aimed at those responsible for the April 22 massacre. Pakistan described the strike as unprovoked aggression, alleging they hit civilian areas, killing at least 26 people and injuring 46. Pakistan also claimed it downed 5 Indian aircraft and a drone, though India has yet to respond to that claim. The UK and India have agreed to a trade deal to ease exportation of cars and other products to India, and in return cut taxes on Indian clothing and footwear exports. The British government said the landmark agreement, which took 3 years to reach, did not include any change in immigration policy towards Indian students studying in the UK. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer is confident the deal would boost the economic and deliver for British people and business. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi described the agreement as a historic milestone, a pact that would catalyze trade, investment, growth, job creation, and innovation in both economies. 5 Venezuelan political figures held up at the Argentinian embassy in Caracas to avoid arrest have been brought to the U.S. after a successful rescue mission. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said all hostages are now safely on U.S. soil, and it was made possible following a precise operation. Venezuelan forces have surrounded the embassy since last year, where the 5 politicians opposed to President Nicolas Maduro have been taking refuge. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado commended the U.S. authorities and those who made it possible. And a bit of sports. Inter Milan reached the UEFA Champions League final in dramatic fashion on Tuesday night, edging Barcelona 4-3 after extra time at the San Siro and sealing a 7-6 aggregate victory. Midfielder David Fratesi scored the winning goal in the 99th minute. With this victory, Inter not only ended Barcelona's hopes of a quadruple, but also kept their European dreams alive, setting up a final clash in Munich after either Arsenal or Paris Saint-Germain later this month. To end global news, another look at the headlines. The Senate is planning a 2-day national security summit in Abuja and has set up an ad hoc committee tasked with the responsibilities to organize the summit to develop viable solutions to the country's persistent insecurity challenges. We told you that Sudan has severed diplomatic ties with the United Arab Emirates amid repeated accusations of backing the rival Rapid Support Forces (RSF) in the country's civil war. And lastly, you heard India has launched a series of cross-border airstrikes named Operation Sindoor, targeting what it claims are terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Kashmir. That was Global News. It was edited by Oluwafunke Israel. On behalf of the production crew, I am Paul Etek. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for news nationwide at 6 o'clock. Good afternoon.
Welcome to the heartbeat of the city. We have the rhythm of the